Hi, I'm Megan. Welcome to today's live reading of Arriving Home by Chelsea Laurent, presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Pits. Join me. Chapter 1, Elijah. This is dumb. Ridiculous, really. How is it that my self-confidence became so low, I booked an outrageous writing retreat stuck on the top of a mountain with no service? Book yourself a writing event. Go to a convention or a retreat. Make a trip that surrounds you with like-minded people. Writing can be such a solitary event. Even if you're at a retreat, writing solo, you'll at least be around others doing the same thing. Maybe you could talk to the writers about reviews from such a personal book. My therapist's words repeat in my head and have ever since she mentioned this a month ago. As if the universe was shoving signs in my face, I found a writing retreat on Juniper Mountain right behind my home. Just an hour's drive in elevation. The retreat was at Enchanted Juniper Resort, deemed in the top 5 most romantic resorts in New England, #1 in Maine. So I figured, what the hell? A romance writer with writer's block at the most romantic resort? I'd be a fool not to go. What I hadn't expected was how realistic the photos on the website were compared to the resort. Evergreen trees tower around the property, heavy with snow from the night before. The path from the parking lot to the resort curves around a medium-sized frozen pond. The storm 2 days ago helped coat the ground here, but it's clear it was already packed with a couple of feet. It should be a prime snowboarding season this year. Juniper Mountain Ski Resort is just 15 minutes west from here. The resort seems quaint on the vast property, sitting slightly higher than the parking lot. It's decently sized, though. The website said it had 20 guest rooms. There's 30 riders here, but some are sharing rooms. I hate the camaraderie as soon as I walk through the resort doors. A high-pitched laughter echoes amongst the chatter. I'm greeted with stained chestnut walls similar to the outside, elegantly decorated for the holiday season with garland and pine wreaths that perfume the air. The atmosphere is reminiscent of a log cabin in the woods, but it's amplified with pristine cleanliness, offering a brighter, more romantic element in the woodwork compared to a darkened cabin. Well, it's a 5-star resort. It doesn't get off a posh, rich vibe. A more lived-in, welcoming bed and breakfast, perfect for those who like people. But me and my social meter, we're a force to be reckoned with. Writers are already gathered in what looks like a living room with a few sofas and sofa chairs. The fireplace is blazing. From my careful studying of the schedule, I remember there's a welcome drink and hors d'oeuvres in a few minutes. I made sure to arrive at the very last moment. Elijah Evergreen, what a pleasure. A middle-aged woman with a short black bob comes over to me grinning. She has a clipboard, presumably the woman in charge of the retreat. I push my shoulders back, adjusting my posture, and throw on a smile. A portion of myself already diminishes. I offer a hand, much to my displeasure, but my mom's trained me well. Hi, it's lovely to meet you. Jan Terrence, pleasure is all mine. I was so excited when I saw you signed up for the retreat. I'm sure the other writers will be as well. All you have to do is check in at the desk. They'll give you a room. In 5 minutes, we'll be starting the welcome event right over there. She points toward the living room area. We'll do an icebreaker and then we'll go through the schedule and events. Thank you. I nod and sidestep to the receptionist desk. Reception is simple, and the closer I walk to the hallway to the guest rooms, the quieter it gets. Music to my ears. Navigating the resort seems easy. The dining room and bar are immediately to the left of the living room, or what they call the den. Then there's a conference room, or so the map tells me, and a spa on the first floor. A grand staircase decked out with garland and poinsettias leads to all the guest rooms on the second floor. When I open the bedroom, I'm greeted with a large king bed with what looks like the coziest down comforter. A desk rests against the wall with a window above it. I have a view of an evergreen forest. I sigh, parking my suitcase next to the dresser. I'll settle in later tonight. This place is no doubt stunning, a picture-perfect inspiration for a romance novel. I just hope it's enough to break my 6-month writer's block. I'm on a self-imposed schedule I created a few years back, one that's allowed me to support myself with just my writing, one that has me dropping stupid money on a resort so close to home. I open the welcome folder, specifically created for the retreat by the resort. There's a daily schedule and an overview of the week, a menu of the curated meals for the week and a menu we can order room service from. The Wi-Fi password has my heart aching. When service disappeared on my drive up, I was kind of excited not to have the choice between sinking to my demise or ignoring the world altogether. I shoved the paper back to the folder, noting it's there for my weekly therapy session. Otherwise, I need to pretend the outside world doesn't exist. The folder also contains information and bios on all the writers. We were asked to submit the information as a way to network and make it easier for us to remember each other. I recognize a few names, but I've never read their books. The retreat didn't have any restrictions on how many books you published, but you must self-publish. I'd like to sink into bed with my laptop and try to grab inspiration without depletion, but I forced myself to put the silly rectangular name tag on my maroon sweater. I promised my therapist I would give it a shot. The den is packed when I arrive. Everyone is seated in respective chairs or couches that frame the stone fireplace. It almost seems like the furniture was rearranged to accommodate us. A large Christmas tree is decorated with gold baubles and white lights near the front of the room. The back of the room is nearly all windows, with a cushioned bench that runs the length of the wall. I'd like to sit there, separate myself from the other people, but Jan calls my name again, motioning for me to take her seat while she stands in front of the roaring fire. A few writers wave and smile as if I know them. I double down on my mask, presenting best-selling author Elijah Evergreen. As Jan speaks, I sink into the back of the couch. I need to find a way to not attend the write-ins or conferences. Just glancing around the room, it's clear everyone's excited and desperate for every word spoken. I'm not the only one who looks like they're in their 30s, but most are upper middle aged, and from the way it sounded in here earlier, it seemed many were friends. I'm one of 5 guys. It's not that I'm better than any of them, particularly if a few lousy reviews are demolishing me. It's more that I struggle to write when I have to mask because of my ADHD. And if I'm already struggling, I don't need the added reinforcement from strangers. Elijah. I blink, moving to the edge of the couch at attention. Everyone's eyes are on me. Would you like to introduce yourself? I swallow, unlocking the file cabinet in my brain that stores my programmed response to my bio. I quickly note everyone is holding a beverage in a small plate but me. There's a bar cart near the arched entryway to my left and a table of hors d'oeuvres. Silly of me to think it would be a community event to grab everything once the welcome event had started instead of beforehand. If I had the foresight to grab a glass of wine, it might be easier to process the stare down. Hi, I'm Elijah Evergreen. I'm a full-time romance author, best known for my 6-book Hemlock Lake series. I'm currently drafting a new series. I'm a Maine native. Christmas is my favorite holiday. But when I'm not writing, you can find me on Juniper Mountain, snowboarding or hiking. Gosh, I would love to pick your brain. Hemlock Lake is so romantic, a woman around my age says. Her bright blue eyes are captivating with her dark blonde braided updo. She has a beige sweater underneath overalls. I capture her look for a best friend side character. Are Ansel and Arlo a part of the new series? If not, I petition for at least a sequel. My heart beats faster, and I twist the ring on my pinky finger. I was foolish to think I'd be anonymous attending an event near my town. They are, I offer with a smile, but nothing more. They were supposed to get a sequel this fall, but my life flipped upside down and delayed the writing, and now I'm not sure I believe in love. Your newest book, Don't Forget to Breathe. My lungs constrict as I search the group for who spoke. A middle-aged woman with curly brown hair continues to speak. That might be your best writing yet. The honest portrayal of a narcissistic lover, the steamy scenes that have you falling for the lover, understanding why the main character is captivated while you're also begging him to leave. I grip my thighs to keep from twisting my ring too much. I can't have it loosen and fling off my finger. I haven't come across a reader for this book in person aside from Gemma, my best friend. But she lived through the breakup with me. She was the only one who could offer pointers on how to make the story better from a realistic lens. Will we see more writing like this? It's so different from your happy ending romances. No. It's all I can say, unable to force a response beneath my metaphorical masks as I weigh the pros and cons of flight or fight. I don't miss the awkward silence, but Jan is quick on her toes, moving on to the next person, allowing me to drown in my misery. At the end of the event, we're told dinner will be in 2 hours. We're free to roam the property, use the amenities, and make the place our home. The staff ensured they wanted us as comfortable as possible, and if we needed anything, just to ask. I beeline it back to my room, but I know I can't stay there. If I allow the chaos erupting in my brain to get the best of me, I'll either head home tonight or I'll be locked in this room the rest of the trip. All I know is I want everyone else to get settled before I explore on my own. The two women from earlier cemented my need to not be involved in the writing sessions. I don't want input or feedback. I just want to break the damn writing curse and get back to my life. The biggest draw to a retreat was taking away my mental load of planning meals and cleaning. Its discounted all-inclusive package should free up more space to create. I opened my phone app, scrolling through my notes to find my list of things that help calm me. My mind is minorly disrupted at the moment, so I zero in on a latte. It's a low energy activity. All I have to do is walk past 4 guest rooms, down the 20-step staircase, take a right, and then an immediate left through the dining room door. I don't know what the interior looks like, but I convince myself there will be coffee. 1, it's a writer's retreat. We need it like an IV drip. And 2, making ourselves comfortable would mean consuming food and beverages when we need and not just at the designated times. I'm in the dining room without remembering how I got here, staring at a long table decked out with a white tablecloth. Our welcome dinner will be community style, and that makes me want to fake an illness. The volume of chatter, utensils, and scraping of plates can be overwhelming. I'm hoping it's just for tonight, as 2- and 4-person tables exist around the dining room. So dinner is not for a couple of hours, a young man, maybe right out of high school, tells me as he folds a napkin without looking. I know. I grip the strap of my laptop case across my body. Maybe we are supposed to use room service when there's not a scheduled mealtime, but the view from the dining room overlooks the ski slopes and a portion of my mind relaxes at the sight. A coffee and writing right now beside the window could be enough to get me through the rest of the night. Jeremiah, I need you to. My head swings to the right, taking in a bar countertop, an espresso machine, and a breathtaking man in an apron. A swinging door closes behind him, presumably leading to the kitchen. Hello, you must be a writing guest, he greets me, walking the length of the counter and coming around it. I was just telling him it isn't dinner time yet, the young man confirms, and makes me want to slink back to my room. I don't want to be an interruption, I mumble. The guy with the apron smiles with a soft chuckle, his hazel eyes crinkle. Nonsense. We want you to make yourself at home. Are you here for a snack or beverage? Dinner will be in 2 hours, but we have food available all day. I catch the young man's shoulders thinking a little, but the other man's gaze is too intense to question whether he is upset with me. Jer, once you're done with the table, please grab the place cards, and then I need you to help Susie with the appetizer. Jeremiah grins, his demeanor shifting entirely. Like her sous chef? Like both of my sous chefs. The man winks, and Jeremiah looks like he wants to run off to not miss a single moment of cooking. After the table. She isn't starting without you. Suddenly, the man's gaze is back on me, and I note the slight pocket of relief I feel. Chef Austin is embroidered on his thick brown strapped denim apron. I imprint his hazel eyes, easy smile, and authoritative kindness in my mind, storing it in my character profiles. I'm Austin, the chef here. And you are? Elijah. I smile, small, one that isn't entirely weighted down in falseness. If I have to interact with anyone, it feels safer to have a non-writer in my presence. Austin's smile grows. How may I help you? May I get a latte if I'm not too much of an inconvenience? Of course. Let me know how you like it, and you can make yourself comfortable at one of the empty tables, or you're welcome to take the mug with you. I glance back out the window to remind myself why I think this dining room might help. Maybe I can start with a brain dump of snowboarding memories, and it could turn into a novel once I've accessed my dopamine. Come here. I follow his footsteps as he walks toward the window to a two-person table on the far left of the dining hall, up against a column. Best seat in the house. He pulls a chair out for me, and I awkwardly sit. You've got the peak of the ski resort, and there's a frozen pond. It's a small pond compared to the other one I walked past earlier. The sun is setting, so I won't have much longer with the view, but this should be good for now. Just need a ruse to fool my mind. Thank you. I don't miss the way his eyes circle my face, and I will my heated cheeks to remain neutral in color. May I have an oat milk latte with a dash of hot chocolate? Coming right up. I set up my laptop as he walks away. With the blank document open, I think of Gemma as I gaze at the ski paths. When I left my ex, I couldn't speak. Even though she was part of the reason I had the courage to leave, I couldn't explain to her what went down at first. Gemma has a history with manipulative asshole. Gemma has a history with a manipulative asshole too, so she was the one person who could understand, but I still needed time to process. So instead of questioning me, she took me snowboarding until I was ready to talk. When I wasn't ready to talk, I wrote it all down. And now that power of mine has vanished, like he stole that piece of me as well. A mug sets in front of me, and I glance up at Austin's friendly face. Here's to your inspiration. Don't hesitate if you'd like anything else. He turns after flashing a bright smile, and as I take a sip of the latte, I note a dash of cinnamon added. A phenomenal touch.